Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out. Happy Sunday. Thanks to all of you who showed up yesterday for Turd Day. That was awesome. Appreciate all the comments. So we got more turds to discuss. This is Turd Day extension on Sunday. For all of you that were on the sticker list, I emailed you, said they were going to be in the mail. I mailed them Thursday, so look for them this week. You're going to get your stickers. If you failed to email me and you still want to, I have a few left. Tommy.time at Yahoo. Just email me and tell me that you're a certified mechanic, and I'll get those in the mail for you. So that's that. So yesterday kind of had a half day. My son Greg and I went to Lakeland to visit my daughter and family. Had a good visit. As I was leaving to head to Lakeland, neighborhood scrapper pulled up. I didn't see any red on his trailer. All he had was this Honda powered pressure washer. Southwest Airlines is ruining my video. So he said, "Oh, it works, it works." The guy just upgraded. So what do we got? We got a axle, missing tire, axle screwed up. He says, "But it works." I thought, nah, I really don't need any more junk. I told him. He said, "Oh, okay, I'll give you 10 for it." And then he went to the front of the trailer and grabbed the wand and the hose. So I said, "Okay, I'll give you 20. So the reason being is I've got another one similar to this. I don't know if it's got a bigger pump on it, but a bigger Honda horizontal shaft. Guy with the moving company brought it to me. They had stopped. I was out front one day, and then I said, "Yeah, I'll look at yours." And then he brought a rough pressure washer. It was froze up. I put rust buster in the cylinder. Couldn't get it to budge. I called him. I says, "Hey, come pick this thing up. I'm not going to do an engine tear down." So he went silent, and that was 6 or 8 weeks ago. So I call that abandonment. I should have gotten rid of it by now, given it to a scrapper, but I still have it in storage. So I'm going to try to do something, figure out if this thing starts or not. He said it ran. And then maybe ditch the other engine if the engine's bad on the donor. We'll see. I got to figure that out. Oh, and this thing, tree service guy left this in my yard. I wasn't home. He showed back up. I gave him 10 for it. Kind of looked at it before he showed up the second time, and it's just a recoil issue. Somebody had taken this apart and lost the clip and all the guts to it, it looks like. So I've got these baby 20 recoils. I'm going to have to fix that. And 2 out of the 3 8mm screws are gone. No cover, no filter. Wheels are in the middle deck height position. This happens to be a model year 2020, so it's only 5 years old and rough. So the scrapper that delivers brought these I hadn't seen him in three or 4 weeks. He said it's been terribly slow. So he said he had to pay $5 for this off another scrapper's trailer, and this was the side of the road special. Ironically, they're the same model year. They're both 2017s. So this thing here is shot. It's barely holding on right here. Thin, bad paint. Dyno thinks it's a piece of junk. So somebody's taking the backing plate off. No screws to this thing. So I looked at the blade on this and spun it around. It looks like it's fine. So this engine will be salvageable, I'm assuming. Oh, the lanyard broke off. It looks like the tank's dry. I don't see any liquid down there. So deck shot. They're both Yard Machine 500 E's 2017. So I got an engine out of the deal. So what I did is I gave him this 5 back for this and then 15 more. So 20 for the whole package deal. Let's look at this one. I took the cover off. It came with a cover. I used the cover on the another machine. But look at how much this filter is shrunk. Probably the original filter, and it looks like it shrunk 30% of its normal size. So we're going to try this, I think. We're going to do a fuel sample. So the plug's off because I needed a plug real quick for another nearby machine. So I just snagged the plug out of here. The plug here was saturated with oil. The gap was filled. This whole thing was filled. So I cleaned it. We have to drain oil off. I looked at it. It's high. Put the plug back in. Sample fuel. Delta. All these airborne noisemakers are screwing up my Sunday. So let's start with fuel, then drain off some oil. I have a container for oil. Got a new filter. We're really gonna make things happen today. Slow start, but we're gonna plow. We're gonna plow like a case 400 horsepower tractor in South Dakota in a 3,000 acre soybean field. We're gonna plow like we've never plowed before. Okay. Oh, debris. Just saw some debris dancing. Holy shit. That's a lot of debris. It wasn't the cleanest container, but there was no dancing sediment in it. But there is now from that sample. Wow. No water droplets, but just a crap load of junk. How do you get junk in your gasoline? You've got a cap on the gas can. How are you getting all this crap? Fueling it with it running and its blades kicking it up. You're not supposed to fuel it with it running. Just more dancing debris, but no water. So will this thing fire off? Maybe it'll fire off. The oil could have been the killer. You have no gap because it's hydrolocked with oil. So let me get this I'm going to use is this little container and just pour enough off to let us operate. So what do we have here? Looks like a rusty cable that'll need some attention. I'm pulling on it, it's not moving. This came in with the handle folded down. The other rusty unit, the recoil, looks like it's sprung. It's not retracting. So we have issues all the way around. Here we are on the oil. We're way above the arrow, on top of the arrow. We want to be below. This is where below par is acceptable. You don't want to be high. This isn't a high-paying job. This is a shade tree mechanic budget operation. Okay, I'll give it a good pour. It's probably going to need an oil change. It just looks kind of dark when I was pouring it. Oh, and some of it actually just poured out of the plug hole. Thanks for showing me that. We're going to have to use some compressed air blast or pull it over. So that may be an issue if this safety brake cable is plugged. We're going to have to rectify it. Okay, it looks like a good pour. I think I'm right at the top mark. So I'm just stockpiling, did a few customer repairs last week, reached out to a couple of people to come pick up their machines. No sales. I had the John Deere JS, the rusty one with the bag, for sale. And guy messaged me about it. I had it listed for 10. He wanted me to give it to him for free. So I think I'm going to delist that one and just fix it. Like I said before when I showed it to you, the bag's worth 10. And it's got compression. It fired off. One guy showed up. I showed him that it would fire off by spinning the blade backwards. The recoil was screwed up. So let me try to motivate the cable here. I'll help the linkage along. And I just did. I'm going to pull on this thing. Oh, I just screwed that deal. I could hear the spring break. Son of a sea biscuit. Okay, let me grab the DeWalt. We gotta take this thing apart. I gotta scrounge up a recoil. Darn it. It's always something when you're shade tree mechanicking. Okay, what happened here? Yep, spring broke. Maybe it can be rehooked, but I don't have time for that. This is going to the side. I need to do it right now. This thing needs some sanding on the flywheel. There's a bunch of rust. Okay, let me take a quick looky. Give me a minute. Sorry, live television. I think I can come up with something rather quick. And I can. Oh, I've got the other machine from the 2 for $40. I may have a video of that coming up. Or I may have done it. Oh, and it says Murray on it, so we're good. 2016, okay, a year older than this. We're dealing with a couple of twins here, 2017 twins. I'm just going to take my air gun and kind of blast any of this rust that's on the coil. I'm going to blast some air into the plug hole and then turn it, hopefully blast some oil either way into the carb or out the exhaust. Getting a lot of blow by here on the nozzle. That's good enough. It's just going to smoke like the dickens. Let's put the plug in so we could see what we're doing without putting the recoil on first. Then we'll do recoil. Beautiful day in the shade. Southwest Florida, probably be low 80s. Beautiful breeze out of the north. Going to take advantage of this awesome weather till it turns blistering hot. Where even a shade tree can't save you. Okay. That's that, that's that. So it looks like we got recoil issues all the way around. The $10 machine from the tree guy, the rust bucket behind us, and then this thing took a royal crap. Okay, so let's just go with how it is. Prime it. Maybe that fuel is okay, but just dirty. Prime the heck out of it. See if this thing kicks off. It's going to kick up a bunch of sand because I'm in the sand. Move the DeWalt. Okay. Hey. It's got compression, but it doesn't feel like it's the best. Let me goose it. Nitro. I lost a little red tip. So I'm just blasting it like the Niagara Falls. Okay, kickoff. I got all my tools here. Let's just rectify this thing faster than the bear in the woods. So then maybe water in the bowl will jack this thing up. So I had been having an issue with my Honda CRV conking out in traffic. I thought it was the transmission slipping, but kind of narrowed it down and discussed it with my buddy Matt, the vintage true cycle motorcycle guru of Manatee County, including Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island, San Macedo, Nico, and Mayaca Head. So he thought 100% fuel pump. I had pre-bought the fuel pump, trying to just diagnose this and that. Then what would happen, it would heat up. Like if I went on a long trip, drove it for an hour, it'd start cutting out. So changed the pump, went to Lakeland yesterday, back and forth, hour and a half each way, and no issues. So fuel pump it is. I just don't like that feeling of uncertainty of being on the road and then you're on the side of the road, blistering hot, waiting for help or hoping the thing starts again. I've been able to limp it home slowly when it's crapped out. Or let it cool down. I was with my son actually once, and we just had to wait 30 minutes, let it cool down. Okay, what do we got? Those came off kind of hard. I don't think those have ever been off. They were really on there. The sheet metals. Okay. Filter backing plate comes off. Pull the carb off. Remove the linkage. And I'm going to get my either channel locks or needle nose. It's always something. So out of the group of everything, this one here is going to be the quickest turnaround. Just because it's more complete, I'll change out the recoil with just an aftermarket one. And then if I'm ever in a pinch, I'll rebuild the one that's here if it's rebuildable. Okay. Let's pour what's in the tank. More debris, a lot more debris. Some big stuff too, so I got to air blast this tank out. Get any of that big debris out. Jeez, that's crazy. Okay, I'm curious to see what comes out of the bowl. We'll probably have a a plugged secondary jet. If there was no good filtration, that secondary jet's going to be blocked up. Take those off, get my big Stanley driver, separate the bowl. Give it a little twist. Maybe twist this side. Okay, we got an air gap, and I can pop it. Oh, yep. That's what it was. Bowl was totally filled with brown water. It just was filled. Could tell right away when I dumped it in, the coloration. It went to the bottom and formed its own little union, the union of water. Separation of church and state. It's all in the bottom of my super orange cleaner. Okay, so jet looks open here. I'm going to pop the cartridge and look at the secondary. When you have terrible filtration, your secondary jet's going to be packed. And it is packed, but not completely. You can see a lot of debris that was passing over it, but it didn't clog it. So we'll blast this thing out. I can see it's dark in color in here. I think we got some debris in the tube. It's miscolored, discolored. Okay, just gotta, not using the right screwdriver. This is kind of a fat head. Let me get a smaller screwdriver to separate this. I'll stab myself in the thigh. Okay, we got a little gap going. I would call that some debris. So no wonder got a lot of these holes were plugged with pine mulch or whatever the heck that stuff is. So let's do some blasty blasts, throw this thing back together without the separation of church and state. Blast this thing out. Get rid of stuff like that in the bowl, and I think we're good. Might have to poke that one. That one's stubborn. Cover these holes with my fingers, blast through this way, and then out the jet. Okay, happy with that. Where can I put that to keep it clean on this dirty air filter? Why not? Okay, I can see the tube here. It's all dark, and you can see it plugged up right there. So this whole tube is filled with debris. So I'm going to put my finger over this side, blast the air here through the little canal, and then out. I still see some snot in there. Let me just blast it with some nitro. Or I've got some thin wires nearby. Bread wrapper wires. Just dig it in there and loosen that stuff up. That's what I'm doing. I'm just using a bread wrapper. Small piece of wire. Just some electrical wire here. I'm putting it in the hole and kind of digging around. I got it. I got it clean. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to the bowl. This one was snotty. And then just a general cleanup around here. Okay, I blew out the centerpiece, so it's got to go in with this hole facing down because it ends up something like this when it's all put back together. This has got to face down or you'll never get the cartridge back in. So let me face it down. Make sure your float's level. I'll put them back with only one side down and the other side up, and it just floods. Gas starts pouring out all over the place, so make sure your float tab is secure and flat. So we'll buzz this thing together. Like I said, I think it's going to smoke. Overfilled on the oil. So this thing had a couple of issues. Watery gas and overfilled oil. I wonder what killed it. Overfilled oil couldn't start, and it just sat in somebody's backyard out in the open. Okay, I got to push on the bowl here to get the holes to line up. I'm a little cockeyed. Okay, well, I ended up popping it off, so I'm gonna start over, do a better job of lining up the holes. Okay, change from reverse to forward. I may have to make another run over to my brother's with ready equipment, because I don't anticipate the season to be starting for another couple months, and I need the organizational space so I can put stuff aside that needs parts, grab new equipment that needs work, determine what the deal is. Okay, since we have some room here, I'm going to take a 10 and just tighten up the head bolts. There's 4 there, crisscross applesauce. We'll do that. And then the 8 millimeters for the intake tube, I'm going to tighten those up. We'll start up here. That one's tight. Go down to the opposite corner. That one's tight. Back to the top. Pretty tight. And then we go down to the bottom. And that one was pretty tight. So nothing alarming there. We'll put the 8 on for these. Looking good. Okay, so we've got to just blast out the tank. I'll do that right now. You want to get any remaining bad material out of the tank. Oh, here we are. Get the rest of it into this container. Okay, I got it very clean. So Allegiant Airlines is making as much noise as I am. They are leaving. They've had a good week at Southwest Florida. Now it's time to get back to Des Moines and get serious about life and life's complexities. Okay. Put the 8 on for these 2 sheet metals. Oh. Okay. So put the plug wire back on, use the borrowed. Oh, that was beautiful. Use the borrowed recoil. And I just poured all the screws for this on the ground. Okay, I got 2. Thought I heard one hit down here. You guys see anything? Well, we'll hear it in a minute if it starts clacking. I'll just steal one off of one of these other machines. Darn it. I'm going to just blast some air in here just in case I can hear it bouncing around. Then we'll move on. Nope, it's probably on the ground. I'll have to get a magnet. I got a loose one here on this baby 20. I'm just going to steal that, put that there. That didn't seem to want to go in straight. I'm going to put a little oil on the threads here from this overflow that we drained off of this thing. Okay, let's try that. Okay, all right. I got gas here. Let's gas it. I got the filter. Sorry, this one's taking a while. This broken recoil kind of threw me off. Plus, I had to show you the other junk that came in. That's going to be plenty. I'm covering the bottom. All right. Okay, I see it burping. Plugs on. Let's drop this thing down. Safety brake is dragging. It's actually stuck in the open position. We may have to grab the plug wire to get this thing to turn off. Where can I set you? You got to be in the shade. Oh, that almost screwed up. I still have the bad recoil attached to the hooky dookie. Okay, I think I'm in a good spot where I can just shift you guys around. I'm in the sun, but you guys will be in the shade. Okay. So we're good on oil. I primed it. It primed a few times. We're ready to just pull. I've got I got needle nose nearby if we have to unplug the wire. Okay. I'm going to get down here and get this started. Okay. One pull Annie. I couldn't release the linkage here. That was all rusted up. I tried pulling on it and that didn't work, so we had to go with the plug solution. You did see the vibration. So the carburetor work was successful. There's a little bit of vibration. I had the old air filter here and it was dancing around. Let's see. I recall both of these blades were in terrible shape on these 2 for $20. Yeah. Total tip is missing. This here's got somewhat of a tip, so that could be your imbalance right there. Let me kind of watch the shaft here and see if it's bent. No, it's pretty straight right there. This is what our issue is. So throw a new 21-inch bow tie on. Kind of rusty. I'll go along here with the 10s, tighten all these up so they're securing the front end, and then there's 6 of these on the back, 3 on this side, 2 and then 1 at the top. And then you go to the other side, tighten those down. So this turned out good. So I'll have a spare engine on the other 2017. This is going to be a runner and gunner. Okay, happy Sunday. Thanks for coming out. I'll give you my email one more time, those of you who have not been certified. You want to do so. You email me, Tommy.time@Yahoo. Tell me that you're certified mechanic, and I'll get these certification stickers in the mail for you. Okay, I'm going to continue on with this one. Change the blade out, degrease it, and do the Lawrence Carroll shine. This will shine up nicely. Yeah, it's not in bad shape. Okay, see you guys. Tip your waitress and waitstaff. Adios, amigos.